So I had a great question come through yesterday from one of my faithful followers. She said, "Hey DJP, I got a question for you. If you had to choose, which is more beneficial, juicing or smoothies, and why? If you can explain it." So I'm here to give my little 2 to 3 cents, my personal intake on what I think would be beneficial if you had to choose just one and why. Now, fortunately, I'm very blessed to be able to own a juicer and a blender. Right? They're two items that I use often. I was able to invest in both of them, but I get it, okay? Because you know what? We see a lot of these health posts, and I used to be there where you think of these people that are sitting beachside, sipping like a kale, spirulina juice out of a coconut bowl, and living these fantasy fairy tale lives that I'm not really sure how they're able to do such a thing without working or without having, trials and tribulations life throws at us, right? But part of my reason starting this page is showing that health does not have to be that, right? The tree hugging hippie, as I like to call it, this lifestyle of the rich and famous, I'll put it. And you know what? I don't want to knock these people, because whatever you're doing, props to you. If you're able to just sit beachside and drink spirulina smoothies and juices all day out of coconut bowls and sit on a hammock while you're looking at the Pacific, props to you. You won. You've did it. You've won life. Congratulations. But I'm here to talk about the average John and Jane Doe that just they work 9 to 5, put in 40, 50, 60 hours, have kids, on a budget, and really trying to live a healthier lifestyle that you're just not used to typically living, right? Because you know what, I feel like there's that stigma of tears of I can't live that life because it's not for me. I don't have the means to do it. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is just being real, right? Because I don't make tons of money. I don't have all these super fancy options to live off of. I mean, look at this shirt. I've been wearing this shirt since for quite a long time, and it's kind of on its way out, but it's just so comfortable and so dear to me. But let's get back on point. Juicing and smoothies, okay? Now, if I had to recommend which one to use off the bat, it's going to be investing in a good blender, okay? Because a blender is very versatile. You can make tons of different smoothies out of there. You can mix it up, be either making your protein smoothies, or you can make your fruit and vegetable smoothies. And it's much more convenient. Now, the reason I own a juicer, and the reason I'm going to recommend the blender over the juicer is because fruit is something, we all love fruit, right? But fruit sometimes gets a bad rap because a lot of people think about fruit and they think of sugar. I can't eat fruit because it's got sugar and I'm going to get fat and I'm going to gain weight, so I can't eat any fruit. But I'm here to tell you, young buckaroo, that is such a lie, okay? Now, yes, it is true that fruit contains sugar, known as fructose, right? And when your body eats the fructose, your liver transforms it into glucose, and then your body uses that as energy. Your brain uses that to function, period. That's all humans across the board, right? We use, our brain's main source of energy is glucose. So when our body eats a carbohydrate, simple sugar, something like that, it'll break down to glucose, sent to the brain. And yes, there's ways that too much sugar is going to cause weight gain, okay? I'm not here to dispute that. But what I'm talking about, when you're thinking of juicing, so if you got a juicer here and you're juicing just straight fruit all the time, fruit's got a terrific 5-letter word in there known as fiber, F-I-B-E-R, okay? And what happens with fiber and sugar, okay? When you're eating a banana, let's just say, you got the fructose and the sugar, the healthy sugars now. Mind you that in the fruit with the fiber, it's going to slowly digest through your body, okay? So your body's not going to immediately eat it up and store it as extra glucose. I don't want to get into the super scientific route with this because I don't want to confuse anybody. But basically, fiber is going to help slow down that sugar, so it's going to be easily and more readily available for your body to use. But the problem with juicing now is you've thrown all that juice, all those fruit in that juicer. It's extracting the pulp, getting rid of the fiber. Pulp equals fiber. You're getting rid of all that. Now you're just left with the straight, pure juice from the fruit, which is going to be straight fructose, right? There's no fiber in there anymore. Helps slow that digestion. So yes, that's why the Naked brands, you guys are familiar with Naked. They're $5 a bottle for this much, and if you look at the side of it, it's got 60 grams of sugar. That's a lot of sugar, right? There's little to no fiber in those because it's extracted out. Excuse me one second. So the reason I personally use a juicer is I don't really like eating vegetables. I don't like salads. I don't like I don't like kale. I don't like lettuce. I'm just not. I've never been a salad eater. And for me, being plant-based, like obviously everybody really thinks that like, oh, you just must eat salad all day. Now, unless we're talking taco salad, I'm not really going to sit down there and eat a salad. It's just not who I am. But the key with the juicing is like cucumbers, something like this. Cucumbers and spinach and kale and romaine lettuce and rhubarb. Rhubarb, is that the word I'm looking for? No, Swiss chard. Those are things that have a lot of phytonutrients in there. So that's when you think of like your micronutrients, like things that help keep you alive and give you energy, vitamin A, vitamin K, stuff like that is very, very high in green, dark green, leafy vegetables. The problem is I don't personally like to eat those, okay? So that's why when I can juice all those and I'm extracting those juice, and mind you, vegetables, there's fruit and there's vegetables, all right? Vegetables are typically very, very low in calories. They're very low in sugar, period. Like spinach, all that kind of stuff. You're not gonna see a high sugar content in there. So for myself, when I'm juicing all these greens, get myself a nice little 8 ounce of whatever, it's like celery juice, something like that. There's not a lot of sugar in there. So when I'm drinking that, I'm looking for those phytonutrients, okay? That's the reason why I juice those, because I don't typically get my vegetables in, my green vegetables in many other ways. I just really don't like them. The only one I can really tolerate is spinach, and that's where I'm gonna segue right and dirty, right into my next one with smoothies. Smoothies offer you a great option to get that fiber in there because you're just blending everything up. Now, the problem with a lot of the blenders is you want to invest in a good high quality blender. You can get a decent one for, I would say, like maybe $100. I think there's a really good one on Brandless that's been compared to the Vitamix. Now, I've seen the Vitamix work. If you got the Vitamix, it's a terrific, unbelievable. If you get the means, definitely get the Vitamix over any of this stuff because it just pulverizes it, it gives you that really nice consistency of a smoothie. You're not getting the little chunks and the little stuff that just, needs to be broken up a little bit more. So that's where the benefit of, that's why I'm going to go ahead and suggest using the blender over the juicer. But if you have both, you can definitely use both of them. So a little thing that I like to do, because like I said, I'm fortunate enough to have both, is I will I will juice up my dark greens, right? Because let's be honest, if you're juicing 3 pounds of spinach or three pounds of kale, it's not going to be very flavorful. Okay, it's going to be like you just wrung out some grass from mowing the lawn and you're drinking just green juice. Okay, it's not really a big appeal to that. But the best part about that is you're able to take the juice, and then for what I do is usually cut up some pineapple or some other good fresh fruit, and then I will blend it up and mix it. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, you're in a different tier, Dave. You got the juicer and you got the blender. And I don't mean to boast on saying all these great things that I have, but I'm just saying that's personally what I do. But for yourself, if you're looking into taking a step into the right direction and you want to get more a little health conscious, I'm going to go ahead and recommend getting yourself a decent blender, okay? Because for one, you can make your protein smoothies. Everyone's big on doing that. Whatever kind of protein you use, I strongly suggest, I will be right back, I'm out of scene, is this Naked Pea Protein chocolate. It's about $55. You get 120 scoops, which is amazing, okay? And the ingredients on there are you're getting, let's see if you can even see it. You got basically pea protein, organic coconut sugar, and organic cocoa powder. Again, not a very sweet treat, okay? It's not what you expect. It's not your typical protein powder because the ingredients are very, very basic, okay? So, which is good because it's clean energy. Good, clean fun, baby. That's what we're here to have. So, you can, throw a scoop of your protein into the mix of the blender with some spinach or some frozen blueberries. Get creative with it. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. Try out some things you might like and things you might not like. Frozen fruit's obviously a great addition as well to add to your smoothies. And have fun with it. So, yeah, blender, juicer. If I had to choose one, if I had to give you my best, no bias, point of view suggestion, I'm going to recommend going ahead and trying out a good blender. Get creative, like I said, protein, vegetables, fruit, throw it all in there. But if you have the means and you want to get creative as well, check out a juicer. Now, the last thing I'm going to suggest with a juicer is get a good quality one. If you're going to invest in a juicer, buy a Belleville or I think that's the brand. That's like one of the top tier brands. because it's just gonna make your life a lot easier. That's the other the cleaning out juicers. I used to have a Black and Decker one, and it did it. I think I paid $40 for it at Walmart. So you know what, you get what you pay for. Again, it is what it is. But cleaning it out was just kind of a pain in the you know what. So even with the Belleville, it's a little bit easier. I'll say it's just a lot easier to clean. But it's still not easier as cleaning a blender. Blender, slam your shake, rinse it out, and you're basically good to go. So yeah, that is all I have for you today. Whether it's between the juicer or the blender, give it a try. If you use one, let me know what you think. Let me know if you need a suggestion on which one to get. Google it, Amazon it, figure it out. Do some research. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay hydrated, my friends. DJP, straight out of the garden. Follow, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in some upcoming content. Peace.